you ever been going along so great in your run or in a race, and then all of a sudden you have that sharp shooting sensation right underneath your rib cage, also known as a side stitch? If that's happened to you, raise your hand, let me know. It's happened to me. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what you can do to fix it and then why it's caused in the first place to avoid it in the future. And how I know this is because I'm Morgan. I'm a registered dietitian and yoga teacher, and I work primarily with runners and athletes in teaching them yoga and helping them perform at their best. So when we think about side stitches, the main reason that they happen in the first place is because of short, shallow breathing. So when we think about the breath, you can actually breathe into the entire sort of diaphragm, but oftentimes what happens, especially if we're working really hard, is that we take shorter, shallow breaths. If you think about the quality of your breath and what changes, like what happens to your breath when you get really worked up or really anxious, there's a good chance that it just like becomes short and shallow. And that's the same reason why people are having like an asthma attack, why people tell them to breathe into a brown paper bag and take slow, long breaths, is because then you can start to breathe into more of the diaphragm and it starts to slow down that sympathetic nervous system, reduce that fight or flight sensation. And then when it comes to a biomechanics sort of standpoint, when you're breathing into the full diaphragm, the side stitch happens from sort of a muscle spasm from taking those short, shallow breaths. So if you're taking the longer breaths, the muscle spasm, it doesn't happen, goes away, that type of thing. So I know it can be extremely difficult to breathe really deep when we are running and we're really out of capacity. But if we practice it ahead of time, it gets a lot easier. So definitely all the yoga is recommended, but specifically diaphragmatic breath. And so what that's going to look like, so first of all, think about your breath in three parts. So you have the top third, the middle third, and then the bottom third. And we're going to work into thirds first, just so you have sort of an awareness of it, and then we'll take it into the full breath. So you can sit, you can stand, whatever feels comfortable to you. And then I want you to take a breath I like to close my eyes, so I'm going to close my eyes. If that bothers you, look away, close your eyes, do what you need to do. But sitting up nice and tall or standing tall, take a breath in from the base of your spine to your navel. And just imagine what that feels like. And then inhale more from your navel to the base of your rib cage. Inhale still more from the base of your rib cage all the way up to your throat. And this might get uncomfortable. Hold and linger if you can. And then exhale just the first third, so just from the throat to the bottom of the rib cage. Exhale, bottom of the rib cage to navel. Exhale, navel to base of spine. Pause at the bottom. Inhale, base of spine to navel. Navel to low ribs to top of throat. Pause at the top. Exhale, throat to bottom of rib cage, bottom of rib cage to navel, navel to base of spine. Inhale, base of spine to navel, navel to low ribs. Inhale still more, all the way up to top of throat. Exhale, down to bottom of your rib cage. Continue to exhale to belly button. Empty all the way, base of spine. And so now that you have sort of a sensation of what this full diaphragmatic breathing would feel like, we're going to take out sort of those choppiness of the three parts and imagine breathing the entire way. So inhale, base of spine, traveling up, still inhaling through belly button, bottom rib cage, top part of rib cage, throat, feeling nice and full, expand into your side ribs. Exhale all the way down, washing clean, all the way down to the bottom of your spine. So doing this a few more times. Inhale from base of spine, moving the breath up, filling up, getting nice and expansive, and exhaling all the way down. Breathing in from pelvis, breathing all the way out. So continue to do that as long as you need to. You may even notice after doing that for a little length of time that it's very calming. I feel calm just after a few breaths. You might feel the same. It's definitely a practice though, so it's not something that's going to instantly change your side stitches. But with time and again with practice, with consistency, it's definitely going to help, and I guarantee you that that's going to reduce the side stitch frequency and intensity and the duration. So again, side stitches come from a muscle spasm in the diaphragm when we're doing short and shallow breathing for the most part, and the way to sort of work around that is to practice diaphragmatic longer breaths that uses our full diaphragm, and so those side stitches don't happen. Now, if you're not familiar with the whole diaphragm and how that works, let me just touch on that really fast. And if you want to keep doing your diaphragmatic breathing while I'm doing that, perfect. So in the diaphragm, when we take a deep breath in and kind of fill up, our diaphragm actually moves down. So kind of creates that space, the diaphragm, that muscle, it's right at the, if we think about our rib cage, it sits kind of right at the base of our rib cage. So it moves down as we inhale, and then as we exhale, the diaphragm comes up. So it's sort of this muscle that goes up and down. And exhale, it moves up, inhale, pushes back down. And so if it doesn't move a whole lot, just kind of like in that hovering, has limited range of motion, that's where you're going to see that spasm sort of take to effect, especially if it's you're breathing short and shallow. It's just kind of going in that little bit, but without having that range of motion. So increased range of motion, decreased muscle spasm means decreased side stitches. I hope that was helpful for you. If so, give me a little thumbs up, and I know that this was helpful for you and that this is the kind of content that you're looking for. If you found it helpful, also comment below. I'd love to hear your story, and like really, if you found this that you want to see more videos that are yoga and yoga for runners and nutrition related, be sure to subscribe and catch a new video every week. And until next time, I will see you soon. Keep it kind.